Welcome to this informational video with the Nest OKC regarding the Chison Sonobook 9.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this video series and giving me the opportunity to speak a little bit about myself and my business and how we have been using the Chison Sonobook 9 in our mobile OBGYN imaging center. So for those of you I haven't had the opportunity to meet, my name is Angela Riggs. I am a registered diagnostic medical sonographer. I'm registered in OBGYN ultrasound as well as abdominal. I just entered my 10th year in sonography, and about 5 of those years were spent in the hospital setting, doing all sorts of ultrasound from OBGYN and abdominal to vascular and small parts, biopsies, procedures, a little bit of everything. And about 5 years in, my husband and I decided to start our own family. And with OBGYN always kind of being my passion, and all of a sudden I was thrown into being on the other side of the ultrasound probe. And it was during that time that I really began thinking about how we were doing these OBGYN ultrasounds, where we were doing them, and how we could increase patient satisfaction with this particular subspecialty in ultrasound, because this is a very different ultrasound than somebody going and having a gallbladder ultrasound done. In OBGYN, I mean, there's so many instances where we are literally showing these families their baby, their unborn baby for the first time. They're hearing their baby's heartbeat for the first time. And obviously there's those sad circumstances where you have a family that's going through a miscarriage, or we're finding some sort of anomaly that's going to have to be addressed. And I feel as though that we could do better. Again, being on the other side of the ultrasound probe, I just kept thinking that I really wanted to find a way to slow the process down, and not be so rushed like they are sometimes in a hospital setting, or even in a fast-paced OBGYN clinic. I wanted to be able to offer ultrasounds in a calm and comfortable atmosphere, an informative atmosphere, and allow that process to be slowed down, to give families the opportunity to really meet and connect with the unborn child that was going to be meeting and joining their family. So having a mobile ultrasound machine like the Sonobook 9 really was kind of a game changer in thinking of how we could do these ultrasounds better. So 3 years ago, I started my own business, the Nest OKC Mobile 4D Ultrasound here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. We currently have 3 studio locations. I have a partner that runs a location for us on the south side of the city, and then I run our central Oklahoma City location as well as our eastern Oklahoma City location. And we also offer a kind of satellite location where I travel up to the northeast part of our state once a month and perform ultrasounds for a group up there. And so having that mobile solution really allows me to go wherever I'm needed, whenever I am needed, whether that is going to a midwife's office to see her clients, whether that's going to an OBGYN's office to take care of their patients, or whether it's actually going to a patient's home. There's instances where you have moms that are put on bed rest for whatever reason, and really the best way for us to serve them is to go bedside. So having a mobile ultrasound machine that allows me to perform bedside ultrasounds for moms that can't and shouldn't be getting out to go to their own ultrasound is a great way to be able to serve those families. And then there's also the kind of different and fun aspect of having a mobile ultrasound machine, where gender reveals and things like that are very popular right now, gender reveal parties. We actually offer services where you can hire us to come to your home or to your party location or wherever, and we set up and do gender reveals on site. Same with baby showers. We can bring everything to a person's home, connect to their TV, and do a 3D, 4D, virtual HD ultrasound right there and allow their entire family to kind of meet the unborn child that they're celebrating. So it's really been a neat thing to have such a mobile solution that not only offers quality diagnostic imaging, but is packed with virtual HD 4D software, so that we can do all sorts of ultrasounds wherever we are needed. So I'm really excited about the opportunity to share a little bit with you guys about how we have used the machine over the last 3 years, and show you a few cases that we have come across diagnostic-wise with this particular machine, and get to show you some of the diagnostic quality that we've been able to get, as well as some of the 3D, 4D, virtual HD pictures and images, which are always fun. So thank you again for giving me the opportunity to share a little bit with you guys, and I look forward to talking with you a little bit more. Hello again. So now I want to take the opportunity to talk with you guys a little bit about how we have used the Chison Sonobook 9 here at the Nest OKC Mobile Ultrasound, and to be able to show you guys some of the diagnostic quality images that we've been able to produce. I'm also going to share some interesting cases that we've come across over the last several years, and then we're going to go in and take a look at that virtual HD technology. I'm going to show you guys some images. We're going to have one of our local moms here in Oklahoma City come stop by, and we're going to quickly scan her little sweet baby boy. And then I'm going to take that opportunity to show you guys that virtual HD software, as well as some of the optimization features that come along with that virtual HD software, that allow us to really get amazing quality images using this portable ultrasound machine. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by showing you guys some of those diagnostic images that we have been able to produce.
So most people think that all we do in OBGYN ultrasound are get pretty little pictures and video clips of babies yawning, playing with their tongues, sticking their tongues out, just like this sweet little one. Or this baby literally looks like it's chewing on a hamburger or something. But you know, we all understand that the real benefit of this technology comes on the diagnostic side of things. So here we have a 4-chamber view of baby's heart. We can see an echogenic area within that right ventricular wall. And this baby has gone on to maternal fetal medicine for follow-up regarding this. We also can see here on the fetal brain, looking transverse through that brain, we've got 2 very large choroid plexus cysts that we can see bilateral, both measured over 1 centimeter each. And here we can see scanning through in the coronal view. This mom went on to have some blood work done, and thankfully everything came back negative. There were no incidences of aneuploidies or anything along that nature. The next case I want to show you guys is one of those cases where mama kind of knows best. This sweet mom had already been through quite a bit. She had a previous pregnancy loss that we followed her through, got pregnant again, but just really didn't feel like things were right. And so she talked with her provider. She came in to see us. Here we can see starting to scan transabdominal. We can see a gestational sac, and we're seeing some hemorrhage around the outside of that sac. So we already knew that we were going to need to take a look transvaginal, especially when we started looking out towards the left adnexa here. Things were a little bit worrisome. So from here, we went ahead and checked on baby really quick transabdominally. Here we can see the little bitty fetal pole with that little flicker of a heartbeat there. So we moved on to transvaginal. Again, we can see the fetal pole and little heartbeat there. And this is scanning superior to inferior through that uterus. And we can see, again, lots of hemorrhage around that gestational sac. And from here, obviously, we went ahead and did some measurements on the baby, figured out where we were at. This baby was measuring about 6 weeks 1 day. And now we knew we needed to check out in that left adnexa and see if we could really figure out what was going on, what we were seeing transabdominally. So here we can see scanning superior to inferior again through that left adnexa. We can see the left ovary and then a very angry fallopian tube. And here we can see a live ectopic pregnancy that has implanted within that left fallopian tube. So again, you can see scanning through, we'll see the ovary, fallopian tube with blood and debris, and then that bright echogenic ring from that decidual reaction, and then that little fetal pole with that heartbeat. And again, we can see here with the color flow Doppler showing that little heartbeat on that fetal pole. You can see the difference between that beat in comparison to the maternal heart rate. So in some cases, we probably could have gotten some better imaging on some of these pictures, but obviously we did not want to use too much probe pressure in this situation. But we can see that ovary, we can see the ectopic, we knew what we were dealing with, and we knew that we needed to get this mama taken care of. So here we can see the live heterotopic pregnancy that we were dealing with, 1 intrauterine pregnancy, 1 ectopic pregnancy. I can thankfully report that this mom went on to same-day emergency surgery. The left fallopian tube and ectopic were removed. I actually was able to get follow-up from the physician that it was very close to rupture at the time that they were able to go in, but they could save the intrauterine pregnancy. And we have been able to follow up on this mom, and that little bitty fetal pole has now grown into a sweet little baby girl. And mom and baby are both doing well so far. And here we can see her sweet little profile picture. So the fact that we were able to get such clear diagnostic quality imaging on a 6 week 1 day heterotopic pregnancy, I really think speaks volumes to the quality imaging that we're able to get with this machine. So obviously, again, the diagnostic side is top notch on this machine, but the fact that they can pair that with virtual HD 4D technology is really neat. And it, again, is really kind of a game changer for the OBGYN field. So now I want to be able to show you guys a few of my virtual HD images so that you guys can see the clarity and detail that we are able to get on these sweet little babies, from fingers and nose, lips to, oh my goodness, look at those cheeks. This sweet little baby with that little side smirk. It's so much fun getting to do these ultrasounds and allowing families the opportunity to get a glimpse into the little life that's going to be joining them, and showing them just fun things like this. I mean, baby sucking its thumb. But one of my favorite things that I get to do when patients decide to share is doing comparison pictures. This is actually a pretty special comparison picture for me because this is actually my youngest son. On the left is his virtual HD ultrasound picture that I took of him. And then on the right is comparing to his newborn photo. So it's really neat to be able to do those comparisons and show that's not just any baby, that's my baby.
So now we're going to bring in one of our local moms and do a quick virtual HD session for her. All right, so here we have a super sweet little 27-week baby boy that we are taking a quick look at. So we've just gotten a 4D virtual HD image of him, looking at his sweet little nose and sweet little lips here. You can see that we've got a little bit of placenta and arms and everything else around his sweet little face. But some of my favorite things about this particular machine is that I get the opportunity to edit a lot of that away. So using our XYZ axis, I can turn baby whatever way I need to figure out how and where I can edit some of these different things out of the way. And I always like to use this polygon in option here, and it's almost like Photoshop for ultrasound. I can get this big old mess of the top of the uterus out of the way, turn him back here, and it just helps us to focus on his face a lot more. I'm going to turn here a little bit more. We can edit from the opposite side here. This is some of the placenta that he was snuggled up against. So I can outline all of that, get rid of that, and then we're just left with a super sweet picture of that little baby boy. He's got his little arm, little hand right up there over his sweet little nose. Look at the detail on his lip. You can even see the little divot there in the top of his lip. So cute. Another favorite feature is the virtual light that we get with the virtual HD technology. So if I want to turn this baby this way, one way or the other, I will always be able to have a light that I can follow him with to highlight some of those sweet little features. So if I take my light, which we see here, and if that light was over here, you're getting all that shading along the little side of his face and underneath his little chin. We can do kind of right on his little face, right straight in. But a lot of times if we have that, we kind of lose a lot of that definition on the nose and the lips area. So having this virtual light that I can literally angle up here a little bit, just like a photographer does. You always have to have perfect lighting for perfect pictures. So this allows me to move that light just right to where we get a little bit of shadow on his nose, a little bit of shadow on those lips, while still keeping the integrity of the image and bringing out those sweet little features.
So here we did kind of a screenshot video, and basically what you're looking at here is what most of us sonographers end up getting as soon as we put that probe down. There's hardly ever a baby that's just in perfect position right off the bat. We usually have to work at it a little bit. So this little baby's face was right up against the edge of the uterus here, but again, using these different optimization aspects of the software, we can totally edit away anything that we don't want there. So here I love using that change button that's on the keyboard and the polygon in feature that allows us to outline everything within a particular plane of view and edit it out of the picture. So we were able to take that front part of the uterus out from in front of baby's face. Here we're going to outline around baby's shoulder and get rid of the placenta that baby was snuggled up against on that side. And then as you can see, there's still a little bit of that uterus that was left right there in front of baby's face. So again, using those XYZ axes, we can turn baby and carefully see where those facial features end and begin, to know where we can edit that extra part out. And then what you're left with when you turn that baby back is just a beautiful, detailed picture of that sweet fetal face. And again, we love that virtual light feature that we can move around. Helps us to bring out all of those different features by shading certain aspects. And I mean, my goodness, you get this perfect picture that we can turn 180 degrees from profile to frontal picture to opposite profile, and give these families this great image to take home and share with their families, and start introducing their families to the baby that's going to be meeting their family soon. So from here, basically, I just went back and kind of showed in quick fashion basically what we did. So where we started, and again, with a little bit of time editing, which once you get used to the machine, it's no time at all. And then you end up with an amazing picture to send home with that family.
So as you guys can see, we really have been able to achieve some absolutely amazing detailed virtual HD images with the Sonobook 9. Our business has really benefited from having such an amazing mobile solution. We've actually been voted for the last 3 years in a row ever since we opened as the best imaging center in our area from 2 different sources. So we've really been thankful for Chison making such an amazing product, and we have enjoyed it every step of the way. The software, the optimization capabilities, the diagnostic quality, the contrast resolution that we can get from all of the probes that we have used really have been just top notch. And I really do feel like that this could be a great benefit to any hospital or clinic, OBGYN office, or imaging center. Having such a portable solution really is nice for that patient satisfaction, those instances where you do need to kind of go bedside to take care of your patients in the best way possible, while not having to sacrifice quality in that scan. I really think is very beneficial. So again, thank you guys so much for inviting me to talk a little bit about the Chison Sonobook 9 and our experience with it. It has been an amazing 3 years learning and loving this machine. And I'm always happy to talk with anybody about the Sonobook 9 and how they could possibly use it in your own clinic or hospital or imaging center. And feel free to reach out. You can email me at the Nest OKC 4D at gmail.com. We're also on Facebook, website. So feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to answer any questions regarding this machine, how we have used it, and how you may be able to implement it in your own setting. So again, thank you guys so much for inviting me to be a part of this series.